Alright, this old for sale thread got bumped, and now I'm getting way too many questions about what parts I have for these dash pods. So this is everything that I have. Everything here except this is 70 series specific. This is a 70 series internal for the pods, and this is actually a Forerunner, which is actually the exact same as a Tercel internal for the pods. The two pods that I have are exactly the same. One of them has a hole drilled in the back. I actually personally used this one because I had an oil pressure gauge in here, and this hole was perfect for running a little stainless braided line into. I did not put the hole there, but it worked for my purposes. This one happens to have the screws still in the holes for the mount. This one does not have the screws, but they are standard Toyota Dash screws. What those screws would mount to is this 70 series specific bracket. This is only used on a 70 series. These two pods have been modified a tiny bit. They still work. See these screw holes line up right there, and they would drop into that. But if I line that screw hole up with the hole, where is it? Right there. You can see that, right, line it up with the camera, that little bit, so 3/16 of an inch or so, has actually been shaved off the back side of this pod. So this bracket would sit on the dash, and there would be a gap if you use this pod on a 70 series Land Cruiser. But that material removed means that this pod sits nice and level on a 60 series dash, which has just a slight cant to it. And that's what these were for. This was from somebody else's truck. This one actually I ran. They are both the same gray with the same texture. This one seems to maybe just be in need of a little bit more of a vinyl protectant, but in hand, even though this one shows a little bit different sheen, they are the same. One has a hole, one doesn't. This bracket can go with either one of the pods, but there is a spacing difference. This bracket fits this internal. This is a 70 series specific internal. This is 12 volts. This has a inside-outside temperature, which has the temperature sender, and it also has the wire harness that would plug in here, and that's the plug that should be under the dash of most 70 series Land Cruisers. That's the part number in case anybody cares. But it is 12 volt. On this one, there are 12 volt bulb, well, one 12 volt bulb to light the back of the altimeter, and then 12 volt internals for the temperature display. The little altimeter is adjustable. We are at about 500 to 600 feet here. 70 series internal, unmodified, never used, clicks into this bracket, clicks and screws into this bracket. If I can line it up, this little post index is right on there, and as it comes down, those little screws, which are right here, would go into that hole. The reason it's not used is because it only fits on the 70 series dash, which fits into that little pencil tray or whatever you want to call it that's there. This bracket fits this internal because this internal is for a 70 series Land Cruiser. It only kind of fits the Forerunner one. Toyota in their infinite wisdom made things very, very similar, but not 100% similar. So this little clip right here fits just the same as it did on the 70 series. Boom. But this, oops, did it wrong. This screw hole does not line up at all. So you would not be advised to put this on a 70 series bracket on a 70 series dash. This fits into the pods just fine. It has a little tab on the top, kind of snugs in there. I'm not going to push it all the way in, and sits like so, and looks super cool because the pods are the same. There is some body tape residue on here, I put shrink wrap over it when not in use so it doesn't stick to things. Squeaks on dashes really bother me, especially vinyl to vinyl. So this is what this looks like. It's very hard, but then when you manipulate it, you can get it soft. It's kind of an old automotive body trick thing. Works quite well for that, but that's what that is. Covered with plastic. Doesn't really affect anything other than making sure there's no squeaks when it's sitting on the flat dash. You can see this tippy side to side for the inclinometer, and front, wait, other way, front to back for the tippy. This one's really cool because you'll see ones that look a lot like this, but they have a picture, like it matters, of a little station wagon instead of a little caricature of a truck, because the four-wheel drive Toyota Tercels came with ones, so they have a station wagon instead of a truck. But other than that, yeah, altimeter, inclinometer, or altimeter, inside-outside temperature. Yeah, so that should answer everybody's question.